In the golden dust of San Pasal Valley, there's a place where broken creatures come to heal. The Sanctuary is in a zoo. No tourists, no signs. Just wind, trees, and the whispers of lives finding peace. Krueger lived there. A bobcat, old, wounded, proud. Years ago, he'd limped into the sanctuary, his leg mangled by a poacher's trap. The vets saved his life, but not his spirit. He watched the world from his rock, silent, still, alone, until one morning, everything changed. A young German shepherd pup, lost during a hike, wandered in. Just 8 weeks old, all ears, trembling legs, and terrified eyes. Somehow, he slipped through the perimeter fence and straight into Krueger's enclosure. The staff froze. They watched in horror as the predator approached the puppy. This was it. But what happened next defied nature itself. Krueger didn't pounce. He paused, sniffed, lowered his head, and gently nudged the puppy. The shepherd whimpered, then licked his nose. Krueger responded with a low, chuffing sound, a sound bobcats make only with their young. And then the wild cat laid beside the pup. From that moment, they were inseparable. Krueger taught the puppy how to stalk, how to listen to the wind. The puppy, whom they named Scout, brought joy and play. He batted Krueger's tail, chased shadows, fetched sticks. Krueger never used claw or tooth. When play got rough, he'd simply pin Scout with a heavy paw and wait. They shared meals, shared naps, shared silence. It wasn't just companionship. It was fatherhood. One day, the handlers entered to retrieve the pup. Krueger stood over Scout like a wall of muscle and fur, growling, defiant. He wasn't guarding territory. He was guarding family. They backed off. The sanctuary chose compassion over protocol. Time, as always, moved forward. Scout grew taller, stronger. Krueger slowed. They still curled up together every night, but the days of chase were fewer. The bobcat would watch from his rock as Scout ran joyful laps, like a sun keeping the wild alive. But the truth could no longer be ignored. The sanctuary wasn't Scout's forever home. Zoologist Sarah had an idea: therapy work. She brought Scout to a senior living home, where his calm, quiet strength lit up rooms full of forgotten hearts. The pup raised by a bobcat now healed others, but the story didn't end there. Every Sunday, Sarah drove Scout back to the sanctuary, back to Krueger. At the gate, the two would collapse into each other, chuffing, whining, nuzzling, like no time had passed. Together, they would walk the enclosure once more, rest under their tree, side by side. In a world ruled by instinct, one old bobcat made a different choice. He chose love, and that love, passed on to a trembling puppy, grew into something bigger than either of them, a bond that defied species, defied logic, defied every rule of the wild. But it was real. It was family.